Hello everyone, my name is Nitish. I'm the CTO and co-founder at Genie AI. Today we are very excited to share our newest launch with you, which is Genie Legal Agents. At Genie, our mission is to empower anybody to be able to do legal documents all by themselves without having any knowledge of the law. When we sat down to imagine how we're going to do our legal agents, the most important constraint we put on ourselves was for it to be able to address any specific requirement user gives to our agent, and our agent should be able to modify the document or serve that request autonomously. What it means is, like, if user simply puts inside our chat, can you modify this document and make this more friendly for me? Similar to a lawyer, it will just go through the whole document and do required changes to the document and then give all of those changes in track changes for you. To give you the behind the scenes of how we actually built it, I'd like to introduce Alex, who is our senior machine learning scientist at Genie.
Hi everyone. So yeah, my team and I work behind the scenes to make all this possible from an AI perspective. It's been a lot of work. We took a multi-agent perspective to this, so we have a number of different agents working together depending on the user request. We have a review document agent, we have an edit document agent, we have a just general question answering agent. All of those agents work together, potentially sometimes in parallel to service user requests. Each of the agents scans the whole document and comes up with a specific plan on how to service the user request, right? So when a user request comes in, we decide what are the steps that we need to take in order to service that, and then we take each of those steps one after the other. Another very important aspect in legal tech specifically is the quality of the output of the agents, right? So we need to make sure that what our agents produce is of good enough legal quality. So in order to do that, we worked hard to come up with evaluation pipelines, combining both human expertise and the power of AI and language models to ensure that what we generate from our agents as text is trustable and can be presented as legal output. Something quite exciting that we're working on currently is memory and personalization. So with generative AI, what is really important is the context that we give to each of our agents. The better the context that we give to the agents is, and the more we know about your use case, about our user, about your company, the better results we have, right? So we're working on a way now for agents to remember what you're telling them, to capture information about your company, and synthesize all of that information together, give it to the generating agent, and give you results that are much more personalized and much more relevant to your specific use case. So let me show you that in action. So what we have here is a master services agreement that we've loaded in Genie. It's actually our master services agreement, and we can ask questions of the agent, right? So we can ask it a question like, what are some risky liability clauses from Genie AI's perspective? So what the agent will do now is look at the whole document and try to answer our questions, right, which it has. It also includes deep links to the document, so when it refers to a specific clause, you can click and actually go to that clause. And according to our agent, the most concerning clause is clause 10.2. So what we can do now, after we wait for this answer to finish, is that we can ask our agent to actually make changes to the document as needed to make the document less risky, right? So we can ask it something like, can you edit the document to mitigate the liability risk? So the agent is thinking about it, making a plan. We show each step of the plan here, so planning liability mitigation edits, identifying the mitigation clauses, and then we can actually go into the document and make those edits instead of the user. Apparently it's planning to make 4-5 edits.
Yeah, this is a chunky change.
That's good.
But it's not just going to update like this liability section. It would be if there was anything else relevant to liability in the document, it would also edit that, right?
Exactly. So it can go anywhere in the document and make any relevant changes needed. And here you go. It's made a number of changes here, both in the liability clauses, but in other places in the document as well. It's giving us a summary of the changes that it made, and all of the changes are made in track changes as well, so the user can go and accept or reject any of them. What's also cool is that at this point, if we go and export the document and open it in Word, for example, we can see that the track changes are actually exported in the document, right? So the counterparty, for example, that we send this document to can go and see those changes, and they are persisted. We don't export the document without the changes. But yeah, that's what I wanted to show.
Because like from the kind of user's perspective, one of the really worrying things when you're trying to update your liability to edit is like, have I missed anything? Have I covered all the parts of the document that might need to be updated to protect my liability? And when you're a human doing that, that's really hard. But Genie's able to look at the whole document, take all of that in, and ensure that every part of that document that could be relevant is updated.
Thanks, Alex and Rosie. That's so incredible, isn't it? Like, just by asking an agent in natural language your request, and it's able to do all the changes to your document as if a lawyer would do for you. In order to build this, in order to make this possible, we had to really connect our AI and our homegrown creative editor to work with each other. We had to teach our agent to interact with our editing tools as if a human would have edited those documents. And that's where the magic happened. I'd like to introduce Daniele to share how we actually go about building this.
Thanks, Nitish, and although I've been working on this with you guys for months, it's always exciting to see how it works for basic and also advanced user cases. Well, I think we really had an incredible collaboration, and as head of engineering, my main responsibility was not just build the feature or guide the team, but was also build the right work culture that could have been able to address this an unpredictable world of the AI, because the ordinary engineering work culture couldn't solve a problem like business continuity, security, and testing, for example. How can we make this product rock solid, for instance? So one of the first things we have introduced was the contract first development in order to parallelize our work, because we wanted to build this feature in a reasonable short period of time. So with contract first development, we were able to parallelize our work across different people and different teams. And the most incredible part was that after 3 or 4 weeks of work, we combined all of the pieces together, and boom, everything was actually working. And yeah, it was definitely the wow moment where, oh wow, the agent is reasoning and working properly. That was the first wow moment that's also helped the team to build more exciting features. Also, we wanted to build this product with business continuity and security in mind. So the reason behind this is because a lot of AI applications on the market are not that reliable and stable, and we wanted to make the big difference by delivering not just a product that's provides some customer benefit, but is able to provide this benefit consistently across time, so that the customer could experience rock solid product in their hands. And thanks to the business continuity requirement and the security improvement and the great collaboration we had as a team, we were able to deliver the user experience of an agent that is not just an agent trying to do everything, is basically a group of agents that behind the scenes collaborate together in order to deliver the best result to the user. In other words, the great collaboration that we had between us is resulting in a great collaboration of agents. It's really like to have a legal dream team working for you.
So since we are working with contracts, I think security is of utmost important for us. So we made sure that all our communications from the browser till our database is all encrypted and kept secure. And even further, we never train on your data, so we always make sure your data is kept as private as possible.
Let me introduce you, Rosie, how a designer that's were able to make this complex technology look simple.
Basically, the hardest part about this whole thing was trying to make something that is actually really, really complicated for many reasons feel super smooth and intuitive for the user. So we've got to hide all of that complexity, but still support the user to be able to do really complex, intricate things. We had to kind of break down this whole design challenge into a few different parts, and trying to think about how to even do that was like really interesting. So we broke it down into stuff like making one simple edit to the document. Then thinking about how users would make edits that touch multiple parts of the document. Then we thought about, okay, how would users iterate on those edits? How would track changes work? All of these are like really intricate, detailed user experiences that need to feel like incredibly smooth. So it kind of basically involved us, Nitish and I, locking ourselves in a room for a very long time. We calculated how many hours we'd spent. How many hours was it?
58 hours in total.
58 hours.
3 months.
And that's only our time together,
Yeah.
right? Like face-to-face time. So 58 hours across 3 months. And basically a lot of it was sketching stuff out on paper, then making some really ugly AI prototypes and testing those with users for all of these kind of really complex AI editing functionalities. And basically this tool, not only did it need to like let the user do a lot of complex contract editing stuff, it needed to support users who were both lawyers and non-lawyers. So we had a really wide variety of users that this needed to work from like lawyers who were like late in their career, who'd been practicing for years, through to founders who are like super tech forward. And that also involved like a lot of the user testing was with such a wide variety of people. So like I had on 50% of user testing sessions, like I swear people couldn't even do like screen sharing on Google Meets, and then I was trying to teach them how to use or test how they would use this really complex AI editing prototype. And then the other half were like super techy, like, you know, really could appreciate how it worked. So it had to work for both kinds of people. And also it had to work in plain English. So we know that a lot of kind of legal stuff is almost like another language, but this had to work for the plain English of someone who isn't a lawyer. And we also had to mitigate the fact that research showed that a lot of our users, they weren't super prompters like us. They didn't really know how to prompt the AI to get it to do what they wanted. So basically we had to help them. So if someone gave us a prompt that was like really vague or not super helpful, then the AI is smart enough to be like, thank you so much. Let me just ask you a couple more clarifying questions. So instead of just like making random edits on your document based on your not very good prompt, Genie will work with you to help you figure out what that prompt should be and make sure it gets the edit right first time. So if you kind of compare the old version of Genie to the current one, maybe we can even like show a before and after of the two interfaces. And users' experience previously of kind of working with Word. So, you know, previously someone would open up Word and like try and change something and painstakingly pray that they'd covered all the right parts of the document, that the language was consistent throughout, that they hadn't made any weird loopholes. Now they can just open Genie, type in a natural language prompt, and it will do the work for them. So as part of this work, I guess from the design side, we had to be the bridge between the engineers who were building it and the customers who were going to be using it. And it's been super fun and exciting kind of technical design challenge to bring both of those things together. And yeah, it's a really cool experience, and I'm really looking forward to iterating on it even more.
Well, thanks Alex, Rosie and Daniele for explaining our audience how we actually built it. As I said, we are just getting started, and there is a lot more complex and more advanced and powerful agents we are building next, including memory, including being able to work on several documents at once, and so on. If you're somebody who deal with legal documents day to day, I would really encourage for you to try Genie and see it for yourself. Thanks for watching.